As you'll see in this video, the drag week struggle is real. It is. There's not much you can do about it. Before we start the video, let me hit you with a small little word of encouragement here. A lot of times when we struggle, and I say we because I do it, we all do it. A lot of times when we struggle, when we start asking questions to the good Lord, you know what I mean? And wondering why things are going in the direction they do. But keep this in mind. It's a simple thought, but it's true. Umbrellas don't stop it from raining. They just make it so you can work in the rain. The Lord's always there to kind of cover us up a little bit and protect us. Let's get into this video.
I'd say it's a nut job.
Well, it's obviously before daylight, and if you want to, make drag week, this is the kind of things you go through. The idea was to show anyone how they could build a car to go on drag week for almost no money, no fancy tools, no garage, just in your driveway, put together a car, and we're this close. Well, one of the things that I may have not considered is actually getting footage on drag week. Flying solo this year. I don't have a co-pilot, I don't have a navigator, I don't have someone to just sit and talk with on the road. But the biggest thing I don't have somebody to actually video my pass. I'm gonna have to kind of figure out that, because without it, what you're gonna get at drag week is me driving around some cool places with the car, some small little towns, some footage, but no actual footage of it going down the track, because I don't have a way to do that. Well, I'm flying solo. Alright guys, I haven't been doing much videoing, so this video will probably be kind of erratic and all over the place, and I apologize for that. But kind of frenzy kind of mode the last couple of days, because I'm supposed to leave in 48 hours for what's going to be a 1,000-mile road trip, 5 days of racing, and there's a lot of stuff to do. It's the little stuff that gets you. So I've pretty much got the stuff buttoned up around here. Now it's on to little thing. It's on to the little things that I need to do to pass tech. I got to build a battery hold down. I got to build a little better bracket for the radiator here, a little catch can. None of them's a big deal, but all of them take time. Even if it's 5 minutes, 5 minutes for this one, 5 minutes for this one, 5 minutes for this one, it all adds up. The moral of the story is, don't be like me and wait till, the week before you're supposed to leave and start working on something. For the most part, we've got the engine buttoned up and it's ready to go. I got a little cleaning, a little detailing to do, but for the most part, it's buttoned up. So we've got, I went ahead and put new valve cover gaskets on, cleaned the valve covers up a little bit, wasted a little time to paint them black. I've got the proper bracket on the carburetor now with 2 return springs, because the NHRA requires 2 return springs. Switched to the MSD ignition, which turned into a complete debacle. That was in the last video where the oil pump drive shaft fell and all that. I ended up taking the front cover off. While all that's off, I went ahead and painted it black, cleaned it up, moved the alternator up high on the motor. I don't know why. Moved the coil over here. Yes, it's got a yellow coil wire. It's what I could get my hands on. Maybe we'll take some if time don't run out, maybe take some black shrink wrap or wire loom or something put over it just to make it disappear. Got a little wiring to clean up, so I'm going to buy some wire loom anyway to clean this wiring up that goes across through here and tuck it away. Other than that wiring, it needs to be tucked away over there. If you kind of close this part off, it actually looks pretty good, except for my Arby's teacup that's right there. Just ignore that. That won't be there. I won't race with that there. I'll take that out before I race it. Aluminum radiators in there. I got to make a bracket right here that'll just cover that up. I'll probably put some kind of catch can right over here for the overflow can for the radiator mounted over in here. There's plenty of room. Run a little piece of hose over there. That'll button that up and that'll make that legal. What else have we done? I've got my new shocks and all on the back. It doesn't look like it here, but there is actually a full hand's worth of room in there now. So that should be plenty of room to make sure that once we're loaded, we don't have any issues. Now you can see a little better over here. Yeah, you can see there's some gappage in there now. What have I not done? Well, one thing, I have not changed the rear gear yet that I was going to do, and I have not done the disc brakes on the front yet that I was going to do. I've pretty much been focusing on stuff that would shut me down and not let me go. At the end of the day, the rear gear, what's in it works fine. It's not like there's anything wrong with it. I just wanted a different rear gear to try to make as fast of a pass as it possibly can. End of the day, we have to go with this gear. She's going to be slow, but it'll get good gas mileage on the road at least. So there's positive there. I still, if I can get to it, will. What I may do is build the chunk and put the chunk in the back of the car and take it with me and just swap it out on the road somewhere. The disc brake stuff on the front, that's something that I wanted to get to doing, but it all depends on how time plays out as to if that's actually going to happen or not. So we'll see. It may not. I don't know yet what's going to happen with that, but we will see. We're going to try. Everything else is pretty much buttoned up. The only other things I have to do to pass tech and to actually be legal to race is the hold down for the battery, the overflow catch can for the radiator. This turn signal bulb right here is blowed. I've got to put that in there, and I've got to fix my horn relay. I tested my horns earlier by running a jumper wire over. The horns work fine. When you mash the button inside, they don't. So got to fix that. This one turn signal, catch can, and a battery hold down, and then it is technically legal to go on drag week. Everything else I want to do to it is merely for me to make the best showing as possible. We're gonna do what we can, and it may be one of those deals where, since I'm flying solo and I don't have anybody to record the pass, this may be a series of videos of epic road trips, watching other people make passes, and it may turn into, hey, let's see if we can change this between stops. Maybe we change rear gear between stops. Find us a nice rest area or a picnic area, and change a rear gear, or do a disc brake conversion in a truck stop parking lot. Who knows? Maybe we'll do something like that along the way, because that all sounds like a great idea. Oh, I got to put the seatbelts in. They're laying on the coffee table in there, and I keep forgetting about them. But the car is almost ready. Running wise, the car runs phenomenal. I can't argue with how great the car runs at all. So we'll see. We're this close. The problem is we're 48 hours away from leaving. So we're this close to being done. We're this close to time to go.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Be good just to hold them down by your side. Yeah, great.
So I found one of the turn signals not working on that one side. Yeah, this is only half the bulb. Of course. Right. All right. So I know some of you probably couldn't see, well, none of you could probably see what was going on in the dark, but this is what's left of the bulb. It's kind of supposed to be more of that kind of, yeah. And what I really hope, if I can get you in here, is that this little socket isn't damaged. Because, well, wouldn't it suck to be booted out of dragweek because the one turn signal doesn't work? But I've got a backup plan. I really do. So I'm going to let y'all in on my top secret backup plan. We're sitting in the car. Right turn signal works. Okay, left turn signal. Now, this is only if I can't fix that socket. Left turn signal. Yeah. You think they would pass that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Door shuts good though, doesn't it? All joking aside, we are really close. I gotta fix this turn signal. I'm on my way to the parts store now to get a new bulb. And then I think we're going to try to tackle this disc brake conversion on the front. Probably the dumbest thing to do with only a few hours left before I leave, because we'll probably break a line off and yeah. But we're going to try. At least going to look at it. At least going to take the tires off. Ooh, speaking of tires, I got a broke lug nut on the back. I got to pull an axle to fix that. Okay, so yeah, we got to get to work. All right, so there is a decision that has been made. The decision is basically this. I am not leaving on Saturday as originally planned. That is a 2 or 3-fold decision. I'm missing a lug nut over here, and not missing, it's broke off, and I gotta press it out, press a new one in. Anyway, the decision to leave. Oh, and I'm gonna pack the wheel bearings while I'm here. Anyway, I keep changing the subject. The decision to leave a little later. One, that decision was founded on the fact that I had planned on camping at the track. Well, let the thing turn on low set. I had planned on camping at the track, and the track is not going to allow anybody on the property on Saturday. I reached out to them and talked to them about it, and it's a no-go. So, I don't have any place to stay Saturday. So therefore, that's one big contributing factor. Another factor is the fact that I have not gotten as much done as I wanted to. Some things are just not going to get done. We have all the stuff to do a disc brake conversion on this thing. Not going to happen It won't affect me on this trip, and I just don't have the time to go through it and do it. Another thing is, well, I'm on the fence about the other thing. I want to do a gear change in this thing, but the math that I've been doing tells me the gear change doesn't make sense. Because my only option that I have here is a 456 gear. I do the math with this transmission, with the gear ratios, blah, 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 all that stuff. It tells me that at 60 mile an hour, I'll be turning like $3,000. And I know that's not crazy, but I'm also considering the fact that I've never really raced quarter mile, so I'm not real sure what gear I need. And I'm thinking if I'm turning $3,000 at 70, this motor doesn't turn a whole lot of RPMs. And I'm thinking if I wanted to turn some real speed in this thing on the quarter, that'd be way too much gear. Again, I may be completely wrong because I'm not a quarter mile guru. I don't know much about it. Everything I've ever done has been 1/8 mile. So with that being said, I can't decide if I'm going to do the gear change or not. Now, what may happen tomorrow, tomorrow is Saturday, by the way, the day I was originally going to be leaving. What may happen is tomorrow I may build another chunk with the 456 gear, drive down there with this one that's in it, and possibly swap the gear set once I get there. That is something that I'm also considering doing. It actually looks good in this one. But you can see right here, maybe you can see right here, I'm missing lug nut. That would be a no-no in tech, to pass tech. So I've got a little cheap Harbor Freight press back there that I will try to press that lug nut out with. And we can get her pressed out, press another one in, put some new grease in these bearings, put this back together, tighten her up, and call the front end of this thing, my favorite German word, good enough. All right. No, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I prefer to do these wheel bearings by hand. But I've gotten older, though. I will put on a pair of gloves to do wheel bearings instead of just getting this slop all over my hands like I used to when I was 20 years old and just goop it in my hand and go to town. The proper way, if you're doing it by hand, the proper way to do a wheel bearing is put a little grease in your hand and just scoop with the opening there, and you scoop till you press till you see it come out the top. You keep scooping and pressing right there. Just keep pressing. Keep pressing. This bearing was not very greased. Now you can see how it's coming out this front groove. I'm pushing it in the back, it's coming out this top groove, and so now you know it's well greased. You'd be shocked at how much grease it takes to actually fill a wheel bearing up, especially if it's dry. If it's had grease in it before, and you're just repacking it, really doesn't take that much. But a new wheel bearing will eat a lot of grease. You can see I had my whole palm full, and that little pile right there's left, and I've got about half the bearing done. And this one already had grease in it. So probably we will drive it around the block on Saturday, which is tomorrow. We'll drive it around the block at least once before we take off on our excursion. See how things is going to go. Hopefully, after all this work we've done, hopefully things go well. I painted the other drum and didn't paint this one. Oh. Mostly because I'm out of paint. And I have pretty much went broke, and I'm gonna call it a night before it gets too dark. And considering this is one of those days where I watched the sunset working on, or watched the sunrise working on this car, and I've seen the sunset working on this car, and honestly, a little bit over it today. You wonder, what are people doing to these things that are breaking all these studs? Don't want to lose the little tool for the fancy lugs. If you put your tool somewhere and you can't find it, you end up having to go buy another one. Ask me how I know. All right, no, I didn't lose one. I know from first-hand, second-hand knowledge. All right, so what we done? We got our alternator mounted, gaskets, hard line run for the fuel line, MSD. We've been cleaning up some wiring. Not completely done with that yet. Got a catch can for the radiator because it's required. A battery hold down, that's required. I got to make the bracket for the radiator. That's the only thing I got left to do there. Both front wheels have new lugs, studs, lug nuts, wheel bearings, the whole 9 yards. They are done and ready to go. And I started working on a roof rack to put the slicks on. Looks kind of cool. Got the turn signal that wasn't working. We got that fixed. And I have the horn button in there. I do not have the wire run on it yet. So it's pretty close. It's literally nickel and dime stuff now. that's left. I say it's literally nickel and dime stuff left, but what I mean by that is literally 5 or 10 minute jobs left. I'm going to take my little metal brake, take a piece of flat sheet metal, put 2 bends in it, bolt it to the core support there. Radiator mount is done. That'll be off the list. One broken load nut on this back wheel over here. Pop that out. That is done. That will actually take the longest out of all of it. Horn button. Already, like I said, the button's already in there. Got to run a wire out here and hook it up. I think that's the majority of it. I've got to drill holes and mount my rack to my little rack stands. And we'll go for a test drive. Actually, I've got a pinhole in the gas tank I got to fix, but I'll probably fix that first thing in the morning and give it time to cure. Put a little patch on it, and then while I'm buttoning up this other stuff, it can cure, and we can literally test drive it to the gas station, fill it up with gas. Once we fill it up with gas, and we've made the 5-mile drive to the gas station, I figure we're good for that. I don't even know what it is, 200-mile drive to the first stop. So if she'll drive a mile, she'll drive 100. So I may get greedy and change the oil before I leave. But it's mostly there. I hope you guys are enjoying these. Again, the idea of this video, this video series, was to show people how you could literally put something together in your driveway with hand tools, although I did cheat and use the impact for the tires. And there's a very good reason for that. I wasn't thinking. I'm tired, get foggy headed from being here all day working, that I literally just didn't think about it, or I'd have used a 4-way. But I think you get the idea. I don't think that spoiled the video in any way. One thing I am not fixing before we leave that may bite me is I'm not fixing the windshield wipers. It's not a requirement, and it was down on the list. It was something that if I'd had time, I was going to address, but they do not reproduce the wiper motor for this car. So I was going to have to find a wiper motor for something else, kind of make some adaptations to make it work. And honestly, I just don't feel like doing it right now. Now, that may be something we have to do on the road, depending on the weather. Probably what's going to happen is it's going to get a good coat of Rain X, and as long as it's not a hard driving rain, we'll be okay. So that's it in a nutshell. Y'all, if you want to see this, please remember to like, subscribe, comment, share. Sharing the videos help a lot. The next video you see will be test driving at the gas station, loading up my junk, and hitting the road. So God bless y'all. Hope the Lord blesses you more today than He did yesterday. And I'll see y'all on the road somewhere.
I'd say it's a nut job.